Hi, I'm Martin Murphy. I specialise in helping business owners develop the elite team concept in their businesses. And I thought I'd just have a little play and came up with 10 benefits for applying the elite team concept into someone's business. They're not the direct kind of benefits you'd normally associate. I heard one this morning about how we're going to help you grow and how you're going to become profitable and seize the opportunity. Yeah, if you like that kind of thing, then fair enough. And there are people that do prefer that kind of approach. Me personally, I prefer the more humanistic one, which is basically developing a platform for people. And and as a result of that, you end up getting all the benefits you probably would do without all the aggravation of trying to force people to fit into your model of the world, if you like. So the 10 benefits, contrary to what, counterintuitively, if you like, elite teams are actually very egalitarian in the fact that everyone's views are considered. Everyone's thought of as having something to offer. So new people coming in, seniority is a big need for this because they're self-managing. So there is no need for a hierarchy of managers and that kind of thing who end up micromanaging, if you like. So what you tend to end up with is an idea of meritocracy. In fact, that everyone, it's not the person with the status that wins an argument or decides what's happening in the team, if you like, or how the business is going to operate. It's a person that comes up with the best idea. And so that's very useful. It's emergent. I think that more and more people are going to do this. This is going to be the dominant way forward, I think. We've had an industrial revolution. We've had information revolutions, if you like. We're in the fourth industrial revolution. We could blow it all completely and just go totally technical and end up, having a real dominantly hierarchical, inequality kind of world. But we're after a human revolution, and of course empowering people to make decisions for themselves as they do in elite teams is probably a good way of going forward. You find that people in elite teams are very engaged. They're engaged in the unrelated pursuit of excellence. That's one of the ethos of the Special Air Service, Special Forces and the military. They're engaged in the decision-making process from an early onset, so they always know what's going on, so kind of ownership involved in there. They're very effective, the fact that it says elite teams, but the thing about elite teams is that basically it's about doing the basics really well. So getting the processes right, getting the SOPs right, and that kind of thing, and just really practicing and focusing on doing those basics well. They're not they're just ordinary people. They're not superstars necessarily. They're a group of people that just work and operate very effectively together. They're also mutually accountable, so that makes them effective as well. They don't need the manager doing it. The social peer pressure helps them to get instant feedback on their performance. Encompassing, so there's a sense of wholeness because more of the person's encouraged to develop their skills. So you might have a primary thing, but you might have a side hustle, or it might be something else that you could do. So the business grows around the individuals and the skills that everyone's got, so it encompasses everyone. Also, there's this idea of wholeness because each team, here's a little diagram, are kind of a self-enclosed business, so that the seed of the business is within one team, but they've got everything that they need within the team. You could literally, pick them up and put them somewhere else, and they could still operate and set up another business doing the same thing. So yeah, there's this sense of wholeness and familiarity and encompassing. They're expandable and. As opposed to growth for the sake of growing, we can grow sustainably because what we can do, we can say, right, if you get into the position where you're oversubscribed, you can then say, right, well, we know what we need to complete a team. So let's grow the team like that. We can just add on another team, just don't add on people ad hoc as demand grows, get into this oversubscribed thing, which is something that Daniel Priestley talks a lot about. But basically, you just grow the teams, as opposed to one or two people ad hoc. Aim to grow a team, just develop another team. They're exploratory. There's always this curious experimental thing because people are allowed to do that. This makes the whole thing obviously enlivening. It makes it an interesting place to work, and because it's interesting, you develop this elite magnetism. People want to be part of it. Your culture is something that will attract other people to you, and of course that leads to low turnover. So here we go here with the indirect benefits. Low turnover means that you basically are more profitable, and also that you keep the skill set within the business. Evolutionary. Yeah, there's this thing about because you're using an idea meritocracy, you're always evolving. Big companies that have lasted, more than say 20 years, it's because they evolve over a period of time, and so you're always looking and exploring and being curious and looking and then deciding. And when you make a decision, you see it as infinite thinking versus mental sclerosis. If you're in a command control kind of organisation where command and control is very important, then you start to begin to, the company suffers from mental sclerosis and it doesn't have the ability to adapt. And of course, in a VUCA world, people say that it's getting more complex and more volatile and that kind of thing. It's always been like that. We've just denied it we've been deluding ourselves for ages, and that's why we have all these problems in the world like global warming and that kind of thing. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, infinite thinking versus mental sclerosis. It's okay to come up with new ideas and then move forward and then change those ideas as you go. Because of this, there's a great deal of employee ownership, and this is a really good point for business owners, is the fact that quite often we're told, grow a business then sell it. And usually when you sell it, it doesn't always end up too well for the employees and the business itself. So you could spend a lot of time growing a business and all of a sudden sell it just to go and live on your desert island with Richard Branson or whatever. But actually, that again is a bit of a myth, entrepreneurial myth, about the fact that you can sell quite easily. Depending on who you talk to, there's only like 1 in 400 people actually manage to build a business and sell it. So you're competing, and we didn't compete our way to the top of the evolutionary tree. We collaborated our way there. If you build a team of people, okay, what you can do is you can then sell this on to get the people themselves to buy the thing, and it becomes employee owned. And that then allows you to then use your resources to go and start something else or do something else completely. But it's an easier way. And of course, if you've got employee ownership, people have got skin in the game. And if you say that's part of your mission going forward, that eventually you want this to be owned by the people that are working there, again, you go back to the turnover thing. So there's lots of benefits for that, but I just thought I'd just have a go with E. It could have been egalitarian teams, emergent teams, engaged teams, effective teams. You can get the idea. We call them elite teams because it's actually an acronym for engaged in the unrelenting pursuit of excellence, liberated from a command control situation. They're interdependent, so they rely on each other. There's high levels of trust, and they're revolutionary. Hope that helps. Cheers.